Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to XJW Diaries. My name is Justin. Bear with me on this one. I've been sick the last couple of weeks, so I'm still recovering. I wanted to share something that I wrote about 4 years ago. And at that time in my life, I was doing the transition from PIMO to POMO. So I had went to my last meeting. I was going through all the motions of trying to dodge the elders. I was also having to go through the motions of trying to make sure I don't run into any of my old witness friends when I go out shopping or to the mall, or basically anytime I stepped outside my front door. And to make matters even more complicated, I was still working for a Jehovah's Witness-owned company at that time. If you know my story, you know about that. So I was having to go to work every single day at a company that probably about 70 to 80% of the people working there were witnesses, including my direct manager, his boss, the boss's boss, up to the owner, and most of them were elders. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses often say that the people that leave the organization, and even I used to say this back when I was a witness, they say that people that leave, they couldn't do it. It was too hard for them. They couldn't keep up with Jehovah's chariot. But the reality is it was much easier to stay than it was to leave. And at this time in my life, I was probably maybe about 4 months or so since my last meeting. So it wasn't too late to turn back around. And there was a lot of times when it was tempting. A lot of times when it was tempting to just say, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do this leaving the religion. I can't do this having to restart my whole life, find a new community, find all new friends, find a new job. A lot of times when I was right there. But during those times, I would look back and I would remember exactly what I was leaving. And I would remember what a crazy organization this was. So these are the words of a younger, very heartbroken version of myself. And I'm just very glad that that guy got through it.
How crazy that my so-called friends have distanced themselves from me just because I no longer go sit in the Kingdom Hall twice a week. How crazy that years ago I distanced myself from my non-JW friends just because they didn't go sit in the Kingdom Hall twice a week. How crazy that the organization leaves you no clean way of leaving once you're baptized. Even if you disassociate on your own terms, they feel the need to announce your name from the stage without giving you a chance to explain to your friends why you left. How crazy that I have to fear being dragged into a judicial meeting if I ever were to tell any of my JW friends the real reason I haven't been to any meetings in 2018. How crazy that the Jehovah's Witnesses have such an all or nothing system where if you disagree with anything, you'll be called an apostate and they'll make an example out of you. How crazy that your family will shun you, your mate will divorce you, and your kids will turn against you just because you no longer believe the words of 8 old men in New York. How crazy that as grown adults, we have fear of the back room. How crazy that there are very nice and very decent looking Jehovah's Witness women who unfortunately didn't make the married by 30 cutoff and will therefore have to either spend the rest of their lives single or end up marrying someone who they would not even look at in real life. How crazy that I spent hours of my childhood and early adulthood giving free labor to a greedy corporation disguised as a religion. How crazy that in my 12 years of being a baptized witness, there may have been multiple times where I was sitting right next to a pedophile without even knowing it. How crazy that for years I carried around a no blood card that could have cost me my life, all because of a very twisted interpretation of a scripture. How crazy that there are judicial committees going on worldwide in which Jehovah's Witness elders are verbally, sexually assaulting underage girls by asking them all sorts of invasive questions, and if they don't answer, they will for sure be disfellowshipped. How crazy that the people we were taught to see as these apostate liars were the ones who were telling the real truth.
So now that I've been out for a while and recovered and rebuilt myself, here's some more things for that list.
How crazy that at a convention talk that will reach millions of Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide, Stephen Lett said this.
Sometimes you'll hear people say of a little baby, "Look at that little angel." But more accurate would be to say, "Look at that little enemy of God.
And he said that with having no compassion, no empathy for any of the new mothers and new fathers out there who just had their first baby. Furthermore, he said that to an audience where mental health awareness is severely lacking. And having those words come from such a high-ranking person in the religion could trigger something in someone who is mentally unstable and cause them to do something horrible. And to add to that, how crazy that if a Jehovah's Witness was offended by that statement, and if they expressed their feelings to their other witness friends, they could be dragged into a judicial committee and possibly disfellowshipped, ripped away from their family just for expressing their feelings. How crazy that there are Jehovah's Witness mothers and fathers out there who don't even know their kids' birthdays. And if that's not crazy enough, some of them are proud of the fact that they don't remember the day their kids were born, as if it's something worth bragging about. And on that same line, how crazy that Jehovah's Witnesses can celebrate a wedding anniversary, which is just the birthday of a marriage, but they can't celebrate the birthday of a child, which is just the anniversary of the beginning of a new life. How crazy that there are countless women, and to a lesser extent even men, who are trapped in highly abusive, highly toxic marriages, and in some cases even life-threatening. And they have no way out of that marriage unless somebody cheats or somebody dies. How crazy that the Jehovah's Witnesses are looking forward to a day when literally billions with a B of people, 99.99% of the world's population, will be wiped out simply because they don't believe what the Watchtower teaches. How crazy that the Jehovah's Witnesses are so controlled and so pumped up with fear that they refuse to even look at something that speaks critical of their religion. How crazy that the Watchtower created rules and an entire culture that stunted the development of our emotional and mental growth, as well as our decision-making abilities and critical thinking skills, all in order to keep us easier to control. How crazy that the Watchtower instilled in us all these limiting beliefs to keep us low and keep us feeling unworthy, so that they could keep us needing them as they endlessly dangle that carrot called paradise. How crazy that there are witnesses who will be working till the day they die because the Watchtower told them not to invest in their future.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please feel free to add to that list. Drop a comment below. Let us know just how crazy this quote has been for you. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Much love to you all. Stay tuned.